Hello guys, Chris here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce GTX 980 Ti 6GB GPU in GTA 5, the legendary, beautiful title with Jack. So this one is a reference version of the card with that beautiful cooler, and we are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers. It still supports those. We're also overclocking it a little bit, as you can see right here. Since it's a reference design, it comes at stock speeds, and these 900 series do overclock quite well. So these are the settings that we're utilizing in Afterburner. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech PowerUp's GPU Z, and over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 7 5800X3D and 32GB of RAM. This is overkill for a GTX 980 Ti. I was first gonna try it with an i7 4770K overclocked, but it was bottlenecking the card. So to achieve the maximum performance out of the GPU, we're pairing it with this. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's go over the settings now. I'm starting at 1080p resolution using the very high settings, or my custom settings actually for this game, which make the grass quality go down to high from very high or ultra, because this is the most intensive setting in this one, as well as the post effects set to normal, because on high, very high, and ultra it introduces motion blur, which is terrible, and it also has some pretty bad looking bloom in my opinion. Advanced graphics are all turned off, and finally, let's get to it. Oh yeah, and by the way, god damn it, wait. Oh, that's another way to get out of the garage. Alright, that works. Let's start counting the FPS, and I was going to tell you that I'm not going to be playing GTA Online. That's not more GPU intensive. Okay, a lot of people think that GTA Online is way more intensive. It is more CPU intensive, and since we don't have a CPU bottleneck, we would actually end up getting exactly the same FPS as here. I've shown that in many different videos in the past. GTA Online taxes the GPU exactly the same as single player, so let's just roll with it, alright? So the 980 Ti was a brand new GPU when this game released on PC back in 2015. They both came out in the same year, so no wonder, given that it was a complete beast at the time, it plays it absolutely flawlessly with a high refresh rate at 1080p resolution. I mean, I actually remember watching videos from like Jay's 2 Cents, for example, playing GTA 5 on a GTX 980 Ti, and I was just amazed at it. He was playing at 4K, by the way, and this was truly one of the first 4K gaming cards, at least for GTA 5. It could run the game absolutely fine, as you can see right here. Now, grassy areas are very intensive, and it's dropping down into the lower 100s. Still not a problem on a high refresh rate panel. This would be amazing. And if you have an 980 Ti, well, you can play GTA 5. I bet you already knew that, but whatever. Hello, Jack. How's it going? He told us he loves the GTX 980 Ti. So do I, my friend. So do I. I was extremely sad back in like 2018 when I sold the 980 Ti, because it didn't really get many views on YouTube in benchmarks. And I bought the GTX 1080. But I just loved the 980 Ti. It was the best of its generation, aside from the Titan X, Maxwell. Goodbye, Bob. See you in hell. And there's just something to it, especially the reference design, that is just beautiful. I really like this card, guys. It gets a little bit hot, yes, because it's a single fan, and we overclocked it as well, but it is indeed a very good performer. And some other models do overclock to like 1450 megahertz and stuff like that, so you could also extract a bit better performance from it with better cooling. Say, for example, if you buy G1 Gaming GTX 980 Ti, or a... oh boy, I knew this was gonna happen. Or an Asus Strix, for example. Yeah, those will run faster than this out of the box. Awesome job in GTA 5. You could even enable some MSAA, for example. Let's try it with 2 times and go back to Jack's Hill, because that's where it's more intensive. So it's still going to be a high refresh rate experience, even with 2 times MSAA. And here's the interesting part about benchmarking the GTX 980 Ti. I always get a ton of nice reactions, depending on how you look at it, from people who have the GTX 1050 Ti and GTX 1650s and stuff like that, who are like completely baffled because this is faster. Yeah, this is an older card than those. Not much older than the 1050 Ti, honestly. That card's released in 2016. But it is way faster. Enough history, though. We're here testing 980 Ti, which is a lot faster than a 1650. 1650 is close to a 970, by the way. And it drops into, like, what, the 80s, 75, 1% lows. It's still a very smooth experience, even with 2 times MSAA. So, can 4 times kill the GTX 980 Ti? Not on the roads, apparently. It's still getting 100 FPS here. But, of course, we all know where it struggles the most is in bushy areas, and it's still not dropping. Dude, that's actually quite good. I thought it was gonna drop with 4 times MSAA, because, again, MSAA plus grass plus bushes in GTA 5 is super intensive. So this is a gorgeous experience. Like, on a 1080p 24-inch monitor, high refresh rate is gonna feel great still, even though it's 80 FPS average. But on the road, it's around 100, and it's gonna look really, really sharp with those 4 times MSAA. So let's bump it up to 1440p, disable that MSAA, and play like this for a little bit. Here we go, 2560 by 1440, exactly the same settings, just without the MSAA anti... Gotta stop calling it anti-aliasing, because the AA stands for anti-aliasing. Also, the reflection MSAA is not intensive, okay? Every once in a while, I see a comment saying, you had MSAA enabled all of the time, so of course it runs poorly. It could get like 200 or 300 more FPS if you disable. It's just the reflection MSAA. Whenever I'm using MSAA, it's gonna show up on the top right. All right, okay, so it's getting 100 FPS, slightly higher frames than 4 times MSAA at 1080p, which is pretty nice. That means that it won't drop even in grassy areas. And this was a tremendously good GPU, as you can tell, for 1440p gaming back in 2015. It was actually my dream to have a 1440p monitor at the time in the 980 Ti. Anyway, moving on. This area is usually pretty intensive as well, because we're seeing a lot of vegetation around us, a lot of trees, some grass as well. So in the city, I think it will probably achieve like 120 something frames per second. And I saw a little frame time spike right there, guys. Very interesting. Also, see that VRAM utilization? This was a high-end GPU with 6 gigabytes of VRAM at the time. And if you wanted to max out this game, or close to it, of course the effects are not maxed out as well as grass, but the textures are on very high. If you wanted that at 1440p, this is all that there was for you to choose from. Let's go, I'm gonna try this. Terrible, terrible place to jump from. Okay, all right, it's all good. We can destroy this thing and get out of here. To the roads. Nice. All right, over here, getting 80s. It's really good, guys. Was that Bob, by the way, with his friend? What are they up to, guys? Oh boy, we failed to hit them. I totally forgot for some reason. Where is Jack, by the way? We need to see Jack to restore the balance. No, this is not Jack. This is Jacqueline. Hello, Jacqueline. Nice to see you as well. See, 1440p experience on the 980 Ti is actually awesome. You could also enable some 2 times MSAA, maybe? Will it handle it near the bushes? 80 FPS right here. Okay. And see, you didn't need any upscaling technologies and stuff like that. That's another thing. And games were actually sharp back in 2015. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, so it already dropped into the 50s, guys, using these settings here. Not a problem, though. It's only inside of bushes. Even in grassy areas, it doesn't drop by too much. Yeah, these bushes are super intensive. 69 average for a second. Yeah, and now Bobby's gone. Oh boy, I wonder what's gonna happen to us since we failed this time. I guess that means that bad things are coming at 4K resolution. Oh boy. Alright, let's bump it up to 3840 by 2160. No MSAA at this res. I'm not going to test that because I doubt it's going to be good. 3840 by 2160 res. Huge resolution for 2015, guys. And the 980 Ti is still capable of playing this game. These are about the FPS that I thought it would get, honestly. Because again, I saw a ton of benchmarks back in the day of the 980 Ti, and somehow they're popping up in my head. I think it got, ooh, a little bit of a stutter there. It's running out of VRAM now. But yeah, from what I've seen back in those days, I remember like 45, maybe 40 FPS, but probably the game was maxed out with the post-effects settings set to maximum, as well as the grass quality. Here, using my custom settings, yeah, which are very good. Oh, come on, we wrecked the car already. Jesus, I need yours, lady. So, 4K performance. Could it be better? For sure, guys. It's not perfect. On high settings, it could actually achieve 60 plus FPS all of the time, but this is actually a playable experience. Again, this area drops FPS by a little bit compared to the roads because of the massive vegetation around us. Oh boy, you did not just do that to me. I'm gonna grab your car now. I am gonna grab your car. You know, I didn't really like this car anyways because I felt bad for robbing the girl, not killing the girl. Okay, there we go. Also, look at that power utilization now at 4K. This is a 250 watt card, and it's overclocked, and only now we're seeing 250 watts. Okay, I think we've seen enough of the high settings, or very high settings. We should move on to high, since this is where it's gonna stay above 60 FPS. This is it. I'm gonna keep the grass quality on high, gonna go with like soft shadows here, normal. This doesn't matter, high and high. So these are the high settings that I'm gonna use. All right, so now I would say it's looking like 80% as good as the previous settings, and it is gonna stay above 60 the entire time. Look at this. It's getting 100 frames. What a big performance boost. Dude, just by going from very high to high. That's crazy. We don't see this at all in the new titles. You only get like 15% more performance going from ultra to high or so. It never happens in new games, getting like 100% more FPS on low than ultra. Unfortunately, they're all terribly optimized. The scaling here in GTA 5 is insane, to the point where even a GT 710 runs the game pretty well at 720p low settings. Okay, going into the bushy area, it's time of the truth, my friends. Will it drop from 60? I really don't think so. We saw 60 frames already. Where is Jack? Wait, what? He's not here at all. Wait, what happened? Okay, let's see over here in these more dense bushes. Not a problem. Okay. I'm trying my best here to make it drop from 60, but it just won't. Goodbye, Bob! Did you eat Jack? Maybe he did, my friends. It's very likely that he did. Anyway, 92 FPS average, 63 1% lows. At full 4K high settings, you can see why the 980 Ti was such a beast at the time. Right, what's left to do, my friends? Yes, it's time for 8K. Alright, so it's applied, as you can clearly see. Gosh, can I even get out of the menu? Please, please. There we go. There we go. 8K resolution maxes out the VRAM. Yeah, power usage is really low, so the VRAM is completely saturated at this point, and that's what's causing the 1 frame per second. Okay. We need to play with like normal textures and normal settings, everything. That's the lowest in this game, by the way. So that's what I'm gonna do now. All right, this is it. Everything off down here, everything normal over here, and the sliders all the way to the left. Ooh, boy, look at that. 40 plus. It's getting 50s over here. Nice. Oh, that is great. Not really, because it looks like crap now, honestly. This is the same as 4 times 4K. Okay, 4 4K monitors running at the same time at max resolution. It's getting 60. It's better than 710. The 710 gets like 40, 42 FPS average at 720p low. This is probably going to end up getting more than that. That's crazy. What the hell? Each 4K monitor is 4 1080p monitors. So what we're seeing here is essentially 16 1080p monitors running at the same time at max resolution. On a GPU from 2015. Great optimization. Again, it scales really well. The low settings do look way worse than the maximum settings. It feels really empty this way, actually. but it scales. Again, this is what we need in newer titles as well as better optimization, obviously. Anyway, bushy area. Time to know if it drops from 30. Oh, 33 there. Okay. Oh, hello, Jake. How's it going, buddy? Back to see us at 8K. I love you, too. I knew you wouldn't give up on us. Goodbye, Bob. Go walk around in hell. Anyway, that's been it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be back very soon with another one. Actually, probably not very soon because I couldn't really finish all of the videos that I had planned for my vacation. But I'll be seeing you in a couple of days. Stay awesome, my friends. Love you all. Bye-bye.